ask you the big question that's been on my mind. Is the edge opportunity actually real for telcos?
Well, Diana, that's the billion-dollar question, I think. I mean, we're convincing ourselves a little bit inside out that there's all this demand and need without really looking outside in. So from TM Forum's point of view, there is an edge opportunity. It is interesting, but it's quite niche and specialized. Sometimes it's fixed to things like fixed manufacturing. I think the whole debate around physical AI is interesting, but the real question we need to ask ourselves is twofold. One is, can we move fast enough to provide the global localized edge, sovereign edge capability that manufacturers will need it? Because we're not talking about products built for one country at a time. We're talking about wanting total coverage of the globe with these kind of products. And we do that fast enough, faster than AI chips will evolve to be on the device. And then how much real demand is there? How many real use cases? There's echoes here of the multi-access edge compute and the 5G debate. So what we're concerned about is operators betting the farm on that opportunity and missing the opportunity around evolution of the network.
Kind of getting distracted from the whole automation and autonomy conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a number of operators building out small GPU clusters. Most of those are running at sub 20% occupancy right now. Demand may be building, but you're also competing with capabilities from hyperscale and so on, which may not be as edge as we're talking about, but can still be pretty local.
Okay. The other pet project that's been on my mind is talking about APIs, and it was suggested to me at this conference that perhaps a better approach, rather than focusing on the mobile network, as some APIs do, would be focusing across networks, right? To deliver that end-to-end connectivity, because data travels across mobile networks, fixed networks, and into a data center, and then it's accessed. So are we doing APIs wrong?
Yeah, I love that you call it a pet project for starters. I think it's an industry-wide challenge. We actually agree with exactly what you're saying, which is we can't think of this as for that customer who's on the right network at the right time, we can offer you, the developer, that access to data about them or some kind of service that enhances them. If I'm a developer building solutions, whether it's everything from new apps to physical AI products, I want to be able to target an entire country, perhaps an entire continent with that service. That means all the 3 or 4 mobile operators in that country being able to do that. But it goes beyond mobile as well, because it might be in some locations satellite, it might be we're using Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7 in these kind of environments. So the developer really doesn't care how it's connected, and our view is the consumer doesn't really care. So what we should focus on as an industry is saying to you, the consumer, or your agent, or your device, we can just make sure you are connected. We can make sure we can take certain quality parameters into that. We should be able to offer guarantees around that, say that no matter what, the next hour while we're doing this video interview, we're going to get really good connectivity and it will be able to be streamed live. You want just that assurance, and you'll probably pay a premium for that. And that, for us, is the key. This isn't just about reframing or thinking differently about APIs. It's about saying, okay, how do we actually unlock opportunities beyond generic access to be able to deliver those outcomes for customers?
The mythical monetization opportunity that
yeah, the big need for us to find as an industry that's growing at only half the rate of global growth of the economy, we need to be able to actually unlock these opportunities. And this is the path out of kind of a commoditized service.
How do we get there though? Because it seems like, to be quite honest, it's been a little bit slow moving. I was here 2 years ago when we were talking about APIs, and it feels like the same environment. Like how do we move forward?
So we are seeing progress around some APIs, particularly the easy to adopt, easy to use ones, things like anti-fraud and so on. I think the work of Open Gateway is making progress. I think the industry needs to lean in on that and stop accepting that it takes time to just develop or finding reasons to slow down making that available. I think where it's been done country by country, that's really positive, because typically different developers are trying to target certain locations. So there is progress being made, but I agree with you overall, we've got to move much faster. That's exactly why here this week we've launched this race to 2030 for the industry, saying if we want to be relevant as an industry in the AI economy, we've got to move much, much faster.
Well, we'll see if they can do it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dana.